Her son was in an accident,
right,
and he didn't make it.
oh God, oh, yeah. That can't be right. That can't be true. That's not true. I just saw him this morning.
We worked on him really hard, did everything we could do, but there was too much damage.
No, can I see him? Wake up! No! Tell him I love you. No.
So the argument basically goes to a little bit, try and personalize you a little bit to the court and talk a little bit about you.
He just turned 18 yesterday.
Right.
You know, and I assume there's a big difference, or maybe there's not, between
We treat like an
17
adult.
and...
Kids are being treated more like adults all the time.
Ingrid Carlson, who was on the hood of the vehicle, was pronounced dead at the scene. In addition, Dylan Korth, who was transferred to the Inter-Island Medical Center with head injuries and 2 fractured knees, died at the Inter-Island Medical Center. Taylor Desermo was taken by Airlift Northwest down to Harborview Medical Center, where she had 3 surgeries for abdominal injuries and spent 2.5 weeks in intensive care and is now in rehabilitation. Kelsey O'Day was paralyzed at the scene and remains paralyzed from the waist down. 3 other students who had minor injuries in the crash were released to the care of their parents on the day of the accident.
State of Washington versus Michael Sandifer, defense attorney Tony Vivenzio, his client, and the defendant Michael Sandifer, deputy prosecuting attorney Charles Silverman. We have previously had a plea of guilty entered to 2 counts of vehicular homicide and 1 count of vehicular assault. We are now proceeding with sentencing in this case.
I'm certain Mr. Vivenzio is going to tell you that the defendant, before this incident, had an unblemished record, good student, with a bright future, and that didn't protect him. There's nothing that would excuse his actions. There's no reason for the court to do anything other than sentence him within the standard range, and we ask the court to impose 60 months in prison.
I know Mr. Silverman to be a just and zealous defender of the public, but the recommendation is nothing more than numbers of days of confinement spit out at the end of an equation, and individuals, real people, are lost in that process. So I would suggest that there is a better and perhaps more just result available to the court. I would urge that this court have the state's recommendation for confinement, leaving intact the other recommendations that went to the fiscal and monetary considerations urged by the state.
Speak with some of the families. This was a horrific event that took place, and words cannot express our sorrow. I know that many of you will live with this for the rest of your life. My son will do. We've spoken. He has taken full responsibility for his actions. He is an adult as of yesterday. The day before the accident, he turned 18, so he is an adult and understands.
I've never even had any temptations to drink and drive or do anything like that, but I did it, and I can't change it, and I have to live with it the rest of my life. And I just hope that you guys can find it in your hearts to forgive me.
Thank you, Mr. Sandifer. All right, at this point then, the court is ready to pronounce sentence, and Mr. Vivenzio. It's a tragedy, and I wish that I could do something different. But I am going to impose the standards, the lowest end of the standard sentence range, which is 51 months in prison on each of the 2 counts, and they'll be running concurrently, which means that both prison terms will be served at the same time. You will immediately begin serving your sentence, and I'm asking the deputies to take you into custody at this time. Right? So as you're escorted from the room, then the court will be adjourned. Counsel, thank you. Thank you to everyone who's attended, and my heart goes out to everyone in this room as a result of what's happened. Let's hope that we can heal as a community as best we can from what's happened today. Court is adjourned.
Please rise. Thank you.